City of Portland on November 19th just passed an ordinance that prohibits housing providers from using various tools to set rents. And their whole argument is that these tools are basically the equivalent of price fixing. They're referencing a class action suit against Greystar, America's largest landlord, by the Department of Justice, who is using tools to set rents, and now there's been a settlement related to that. So the city of Portland looked at that. They looked at a rule that had been passed in San Francisco last year, and their argument is that when landlords use data that's not necessarily publicly available data, maybe it's data shared among different providers, maybe it's data that they find out through their software provider, which is a third party that aggregates this information. But long story short, they're saying that this is price fixing. They're also saying that it's inflating rents artificially when it shouldn't. Now, that's not necessarily true. In fact, recent evidence that Zillow published, which looks at San Francisco's rule that has now been in place for a year, shows actually it's having the opposite effect. But in any case, if you are a housing provider, you cannot use these types of tools. Now, there are some exceptions and carve-outs, which I address in an article that I wrote, but nonetheless, if you are a landlord and you're managing property especially, you want to be extra careful. And if you're a private landlord, that's just a larger landlord, you want to make sure you're not running into any issues, because this new ordinance imposes a lot of fines per violation, and the statute of limitations for this is 5 years, which is substantially longer than any other landlord-tenant statute of limitations. Typically, they're 12 months. So this is something you're going to want to look into and make sure that you're in compliance with this new ordinance passed by the city of Portland.